Hi, and welcome back to Hot Off the Press, the show about new releases and the authors that bring them to you. I'm your host, Jim Nettles, and you're going to see a few familiar faces this evening, bringing in some more things to stack up on that to be read pile. So, Layla, would you like to introduce yourself first?
Sure, I am Layla Dorine. I write LGBTQ fiction and romance, heavy on the rockers, the bikers, the shifters. They're getting me more and more into the Omega verse too, so we're going to see where all of this is going.
Amy?
And I am Amy Kaplan. I write as A.L. Kaplan, mostly YA science fiction and fantasy, and now a children's book. Go figure. Now that my kids are in their 30s.
They're old enough to read it. Jenny?
Hi, I'm Gini Koch. I write the Alien Catherine Kitty Cat series, formerly for Doll Books and now for Gingerbread Publishing. I also write in every length and genre and under a variety of other companies.
So, y'all might have been down this path before,
No,
but
never.
never. So, well, Amy, I haven't had a chance to do this to you in a while, so I'll be nice. All right. But
Uh-oh.
anyway, so, we always like to start with that big picture. What's the world we're stepping into? What's the big setup? What do things look like? So, Layla, exactly
Well,
what kind of love and romance are we stepping into this time?
well, I am jumping back into the Lacton Brotherhood series, which I did last year with Daddy's Little Chaos Gremlin, and now I'm doing Daddy's Precious Pets. So this one has double the pet play, and their daddy is actually a pet play gear designer. Because one of the things that I kind of touched on it in Seafoam and Saltwater Taffy, where the pets got to do a runway show on the cruise ship where it was all just pet fashion, and then they had different tents and vendors who were selling things. Because let's face it, pet play has grown beyond puppies and kittens, and I like to have fun with ferrets and koalas and just well, we're doing a red panda, and my youngest is actually going to draw a design for a red panda pet play costume to go with this. So we are just having fun with all the pets, all the pet play, all the costumes, and everything that goes with it in this book. And two sweet pets who absolutely deserve to find the coolest daddy who can make them costumes whenever they want a new one.
Amy?
Uh, well, we are getting into a little dragon that is helping his family celebrate Hanukkah. So we get to do a lot of making latkes and lighting the menorah and playing dreidel. And I actually did all the paintings myself. Uh, had to use that art degree somehow. I can show them some of them to you later if you'd like. Uh, I had a lot of fun making it, and then included some extra bonuses in the back of the book, including the menorah that was the inspiration for the drawing that you cannot see. So this menorah here is based on one that belonged to my great great grandfather.
All
And
right,
I
Jenny. Oh, sorry. Go ahead,
no, I
Amy.
was just say I included a picture of it in the back of the book.
Excellent. Yeah, we'll have to take a look at a few of those as we go along. So, Jenny, how about for you? What's the setup for this one? What do we get to do to Kitty Cat?
This is on pre-order right now. It's going to release April, I want to say 7th. And it's the long-awaited book 17. It's finally coming, y'all. I swear. Look, there's a cover. Look, there are pages because I'm done with my edits. So we this is the long-awaited, and for those who've made it through book 16, at the end of the book, there's a snap, and the people in the ship, the dozen people in the smaller spaceship, are snapped into an alternate universe, and the alternate universe is the steampunk universe. And the origin story steampunk universe short stories are in the Alien collection, which is out now. But so we're in Kitty's universe, but it's not really Kitty's universe. It's very different. There's a lot of that person is not the same as they are in Kitty's world. That person doesn't exist here. That person's a good person when they're bad. They're a bad person when they're good. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. But it's so different from what they're used to. And in book 10, Kitty already did a universe which was only her and her, cosmic moi, as she called the other Kitty. And they had to save each other's respective days. But in this case, there's a dozen people snapped into this universe, and they have to figure out what's going on really, really fast because they are indeed there to try to save the day. And so we're exploring the differences in the universes and how everybody's functioning and how everybody isn't.
And who has a goatee? That's my only question. Who has the goatees?
Martini has a goatee. And well, yes, Martini, his counterpart is wearing I call it's an anchor goatee. So he looks like he's got the same goatee that Robert Downey Jr. had in Iron Man. So he's got the goatee.
So let's dive a little bit deeper into these. And Amy, kind of based on what this, we're going to dive deeper into characters and everything else. But
Okay.
with this one, and, you know, like you kind of let in, seeing as how the kids are now 30, what brought you to finally have to bring, your Hanukkah book to fruition?
I woke up in the middle of the night and wrote this story. This was one that just it literally woke me up, and I scribbled it down in the dark and on that notepad by the side of the bed. And then the next day I wrote 3 other stories. That was a year ago. And they sat and they sat and they sat, and suddenly it occurred to me, well, maybe I should actually do the illustrations for one of them. So yeah, maybe I'll have grandkids that can read them. Uh, we can hope.
We
So,
can we can send just that snippet to them, right? Get the
right,
grandkids going.
yeah, get it
Yeah.
going. So I forced myself to sit down and do the illustrations, and it's a different kind of drawing than I was used to. I have an art background, so it's not out of left field here. But my drawing style is typically very hyper realistic. That wouldn't work for a children's book, and B, it's a dragon. I have never been able to make a dragon anything look like anything except puff. So, just kind of decided to go for it. So I mean that's what started it, and I also wanted to get it out before this last holiday season so I could actually, I don't know, maybe sell a few. And
So why don't you tell us a little bit about the story here with Dragon's Hanukkah and who we're going on the ride with in this story?
uh we are going on the ride with Dragon. And yes, I have a dragon named Dragon. It just seemed appropriate. He's based on a little toy that I've been taking with me to writing retreats, and it's also the toy that guards my candy on my desk to keep me from. I got to earn it in order to have it. So I mean, it starts out with it's Hanukkah's coming, and he's very excited, and he's going to help mom make latkes. So it is a picture book, so I can't really see it that well, and it's I'm gonna help mom make latkes. And then we go into the grating the potatoes, which is hard work. Trying to show you the pictures at the same time. And by the way, my daughter sent me photographs of her hand holding a pear so I could get the fingers right. I was having the hardest time with those pictures. Oh, and onions make his eyes water. I had to have the little dripping eyes.
The
It's not all.
illustrations are adorable.
Thank you. There's only about 55 words in the entire book,
Oh,
and
that's
all
great.
mixed up, ready to fry. But the oil is hot. I'll let Dad do the frying, and in our house, I usually mixed up the the dough, and it's our own recipe. And my husband always does the frying. So, and then it was all done.
Did you slip the recipe in the back?
Yes, I did.
Mm.
The recipe is in there. And this picture got me in trouble. I sent the whole book to, it's Yummy Latkes and Applesauce. I sent the whole book to one of my temple's rabbis to review. The only thing he came back with was, you didn't have sour cream with your latkes. I never had sour cream with my latkes. I didn't even know it was a thing until I was an adult.
Oh, we only had
Only
sour.
did sour. Yeah. So when I had the book out, the first sale I was at, I had two little jars where people could vote on whether they wanted applesauce or sour cream. I got like 3 packages of gold chocolate coins at Trader Joe's because they actually taste good, so I can eat them. And this is time to light the candles or the menorah. And he helps mom light the candles.
So
And
here's the question I got to ask is,
yes,
did we get to have fire breath to light the candles?
no, that would just melt them. And yeah, someone suggested, oh, you could have had them cook the latkes with the flame too. Well, then they just get burnt outside and they don't get cooked on the inside because they got to be nice and creamy on the inside and crisp and
Mhm.
crunchy on the outside.
Yeah.
And then after the candles are lit, they play dreidel. And I actually have explain what, not explain, I say what the letters on the dreidel mean. A great miracle happened there. I have the instructions for how to play the game. And I'm going to skip ahead here because I feel like I'm taking too much time.
Well, I'm picturing next year you get to do a matching dreidel set so you can get like the full gift set.
There we
Right?
go.
And
So
chocolate coins. Why not complete those too?
gift
Do a full gift pack.
pack. I did make a
Yeah.
t-shirt. You
Ooh.
can get a Happy Hanukkah dragon on my Redbubble, and I made one with just the image I just held up of for year round. And then, of course, in the back of the book, the full candle. I have the prayers in English, well, the Hebrew transliteration and in English translation. I included my favorite. You can't really read that. My favorite Hanukkah song, which is Sivivon, Sav, Sav, which means dreidel, spin, spin, spin. I always like that one better than the dreidel made out of clay. Yeah, the other one. And our latke recipe.
Now I want to go make vodka. And
Now
you
I
And
want
sent
to
then,
me,
try
no,
latkes
no,
for the
she
first
sent me
time.
her
oh,
recipes.
really?
So,
I've never had them. I've
Oh,
heard of them, and
have you
now
ever
you're
had
making
a
me hungry.
potato pancake? Have you ever had a potato pancake?
No.
No, okay, because
Oh,
that's the Gentile version of,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
they're
That
really
it's
good.
they're we put a lot of onion
Hmm.
in our latkes,
Hmm.
and some people puree them. Ooh.
Yeah,
No, we do a grate so that
yeah,
you get crispies and crunchies, and there's a lot of frying in oil for Hanukkah.
yeah,
But yeah,
be-
did you get to see that last picture of the actual
yeah. It was really nice.
thank you. It's
Yeah.
silver and engraved, which I didn't know until I cleaned it and saw the
oh,
engraving in
Wow.
Yiddish and had to have it translated both first to Hebrew and then to English. I know someone who speaks fluent Yiddish and fluent Hebrew.
Wow.
so now we'll just have to get the sequel out for next year or this year.
Yep.
Uh, well, yes, actually, I have another story in the works. Not a holiday book, but it's going to be fun with a lot of drawings, a lot more watercolors. But at least I know I remember how to use them.
Yeah.
Excellent.
It's
No,
great.
those look great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I do have the original paintings here too, but
Oh,
Oh,
it
wow.
was
wow.
easier to show the book. But yeah, I did them pretty good size, and then
Wow, this is
had to go
great.
get them scanned
Yeah.
in.
This is really good, Amy.
Thank you. I'm glad I can use that art degree for something.
Well, it happens.
I have a master's in unemployability.
Yeah, but that's not quite as rare as it used to be. So,
Yeah,
That's true.
unfortunately.
That's true.
so Jenny,
Uh-huh.
what alternate versions of Who Are We Traveling With finally in this forthcoming, let's see, how long do they go between the snap in the universe and when they
Oh my
brought
God,
everybody?
8 years.
5 years?
8.
The
Well, they only went a moment,
5.
but we've been waiting. Oh no, 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 no. That was supposed to come out in 2018. So 2 cross-country moves, a whole lot of other stuff later. Yeah, here it is now. So we're going with Kitty and 11 other people of her nearest and dearest. They are chosen at the end of book 16. They're making basically make the emperor, who's a relative of Kitty's husband, make him feel good, because we've been jetting all over the galaxy, adding in to his empire, but it's kind of feeling left out. And so they're supposed to be heading over to Alpha 4, and making nice and making him feel special, right? Here's all we've done. So he gets the one-on-one. So it's Jeff, Kitty, their kids, their ward, her adopted dad, Rita Dower's wife. So it's like it's not every core supporting person character, because there are a lot. I mean, I'm at over 500 named characters in the series by now. So everyone's not along. But it's the 12 people that have been chosen to go do this. They get zapped. So some of them don't have a counterpart in this universe. This universe has been at war for centuries, millennia, really, because of the big bads from the series everybody knows. The Zipporah are indeed a problem here as well. And the bigger problem is it looks like they're winning. So that as Kitty says, when this stuff happens, when this stuff is perpetrated upon me against my will, it always means you need my special band of crazy to make it out. So stop shooting at me, right? It's a very suspicious, much less open society, very rigid because of steampunk, right? So they kept a lot of Victorian, while at the same time polymarriages and gene splicing to make sure everyone in a polymarriage is part of that kid is perfectly normal. But hold hands in public? Absolutely not. How dare, the impropriety, right? And here comes Kitty, who has never met a propriety she was going to follow, and will make out with her hot, handsome alien husband at the drop of a hat in front of anyone and anywhere, right? So this is a culture clash, and like no one understands her slang. And one of the other characters says she's aware you don't understand it, but that's not going to stop her. So just run along the train and jump on when you can. So Kitty's doing her thing. Her alternate in this, Catherine, is not. She's much less like Kitty than the other Kitty that we met in book 10. She's there, like I said, they've been at war. Her family bloodline is considered vital. There's not a lot of joke cracking. There's not a lot of anything else. But she solved the situation of who do I marry by marrying her two best guy friends. They're in a poly marriage and nobody bats an eye. So it's interesting for me as a writer to do the differences. It's also difficult to make sure that, they're very clearly different, especially because these characters in book 10 in Universal Alien, I was alternating every 3 chapters. You would get a different Kitty, and it might be a jarring change, but maybe usually it was, you have to realize, oh, wait, I'm with this other Kitty now. For the most part, these people are with their counterparts. So you're seeing kind of, it isn't necessarily double mint twins, isn't double the fun. It's a lot of dealing with how do I handle this person being right here. She's not being me. Oh, now she is being me. Oh, she's not really being me, right? So Kitty's got a lot of that going on. As do the others there. One of the characters, I'm not gonna say who, is considered public enemy number one by the good guys. And it is not a character you necessarily expect. And it's very upsetting for everyone. But Kitty believes that maybe there's more to it. I'm just going to say it now. This book also ends on a cliffhanger. Except that because Aliens, when I wrote it, it was a beast and I had to cut it in half. And I knew where to cut it and everything else. So that's all handled well. And now I have to restart the book that where it starts, it's in the middle. Okay. And it's like that has been amazingly challenging, but I'll be on time. That comes out in December. So I have plenty of time to get my chapters massaged and do a new intro and everything else. But it's an interesting challenge because this is the first time I've literally had to cut a book in half and make both halves work. And they have to work and they have to be, beginning, middle, end, and beginning, middle, end again. So that's been hard. But so it's going to be 2 books in the steampunk universe: Aliens Like Us in April and Aliens Like Them in December. And then Ginger Blue should all, you'll see me on the next ones, they're 3 books away from being caught up. So as those are coming out, I'll be back because they'll be coming out. But this, like I said, this is on pre-order, so everybody please pre-order. And I do have to say, if anybody watching this, it's like, oh, I pre-ordered way back when. That's awesome. That pre-order won't reactivate. It's a different publisher and more importantly, a different ISBN. So that will never reactivate. You have to literally go to the Ginger Blue website, click on it, and go to the version you want to buy and pre-order that. Because otherwise you're just going to be, oh, it'll show up. No, it won't. Doesn't work like that. And that's not a slam on DAW. That's not their job. And the various distributors, that isn't their job either, right? It's like pre-order and buy the ISBN, appropriate ISBN. That's how everything functions. So, and that was, and the other thing, you cannot actually physically walk into Barnes and Noble and order the books because Barnes and Noble and BNN.com don't actually work very well together at all. And they're the same company. And yet, so, and I know this because I've had fans tell me, I went in to order it and they said it's not available. Like, because it's not on their shelves and it's not going to necessarily be on their shelves. So that was an interesting discovery for both me and the publisher of, oh, how very interesting. We won't do that. Yeah. Okay. Not a surprise, but still, and then, discovering people who think that their old pre-order is going to reactivate from 8 years ago, and it is not, ever, because it's just completely changed. But beyond that, it'll be worth it when you finally get the book in April. So I'm excited.
Of what year?
April. This year, 2026. You get both Aliens Like Us, and then in December 2026, Aliens Like Them. And then I'm back to a 1 book a year contract. And all the rest of the series is going to release in December.
So Layla, who are we going on this ride with?
Well, you have Murray and Riley, who are strippers, and at least at the start of the book, they move to being models when after they are kind of the daddy who is the designer of the pet play gear. He sees them at a birthday party for a friend. He actually gets a very interesting dance from them during the party, but he's drawn to the connection between them, the way they move and interact with each other, that they just are so fluidly into each other. He wants to see that in the gear. He wants to see them interact because he's not just looking for, the photos for the his website and his shop, but he's also having them product test the prototypes. So if they're uncomfortable, if they're trying to play and something's pinching or rubbing, he'll be able to make those adjustments. So they are going to kind of start out modeling for him and testing the products. And of course, the proximity and everything is going to allow for connection between them. His name is Dorian. So, it's just been fun. Like, I have to admit, I am only 3 days and about 12,000 words into their story. It's completely kind of note outlined for each chapter. And so far, 5 chapters in, I've actually managed to stay to the notes. Now, one thing just deviated like right before I was like, oh, well, there went that entire plot point out the window. Okay, it was actually good. It probably would have bogged the story down. So I'm like, all right, that one resolved itself, was resolved by the character. So when I set up my notes, like I always go off the rails. The notes are me kind of, I need to meet these characters. I need to have them in my head. I need to have some general starting point and ideas of things that can happen. I can't tell you how many written out, like fully paragraphed, detailed summary chapters that I've written for books that never happen. Like someday I might dig them all out and see, can we piecemeal these together and maybe have like one or two more books over here? Because somewhere the characters go off the rails. It's almost always early, but that's also the point where I feel like I'm getting to know them and watching their personalities. Like one of them just totally, has the kind of badass vibe. He's just like the one you would fear. He's not the one you should fear. This sweet, adorable little angel dance partner, best friend that he has, he's got martial arts training and he's not afraid to use it and he's not afraid to break people. But not only is he not afraid, he actually, like, in the last chapter shocked me because he was like, not only is he fully prepared to defend against they've got a guy who's causing issues, but now he's actively wanting to go hunt him. And I'm like, this was not part of my plan. We are not getting arrested in this book. No.
Yeah.
So, I love when they just really start opening up and showing, who they are, and I can really get, into them. And having written in this world before, I already kind of had my plan months ago for like the whole concept for my story. So as soon as it was time to sit down and start writing, it's kind of been like a 2 chapter a day thing for the last couple of days. And one day where it was a short start, where it was like 1 chapter, and the last 2 days it's just been bing, 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 and words flying. And I love it when a plan comes together.
Well, we're here at the beginning of January of 2026. I don't know how that happened because as far as I'm concerned, it's still February of 25, but I stuff to be done. So one of those things that's always fun at the beginning of the year is, we get that little retrospective. What did I get done in 25? And more importantly, what I want to do in 26. Jenny, I'm going to start with you for this one.
Thanks.
You're welcome. You're very welcome. But I just want to throw this question out there, right? I mean, because a lot of the time we talk about what did we see, what did we learn, what did we do, and that retrospective thing. But I really want to kind of look at, with everything that came out of 25, what are you looking forward to in 2026, especially when it comes down to, your readers getting something new?
So grateful. If we remember the saga, I finished this book in 2020, November 2024, and got to find out very early right about this time in the year, that like actually a couple weeks later than this, that Daw and I were not going to play together again. And it was terribly shocking until Ginger Blue was like, we'll take it, right? Because, having a long running series and knowing what you're doing for at least 5 more books, it's a horrible shock. And, I'm grateful Daw let it go that long. It all worked out, blah, blah, blah. But I'm just so relieved that Ginger Blue could pick it up with boom, right? Because it meant that my readers actually will get this book. I mean, one of the things I had to explain to them is even if Daw had said, sure, you're our girl for the rest of the time, 2 years. I was off the schedule. Okay. They can't schedule when you're that late. They can't schedule you. So you now have to wait for an opening to get put in. So I don't have to wait for that. I got to discuss with Ginger Blue when I felt this would be the best time to come out. And I'm starting to do a mini Gini Con in Phoenix. I did one last year in April, and it was really great. And I'm like, I'm doing it again in April. We're adding a day. And if there's enough time, people could buy their books and come and have it signed. I can ship some books out and they can just buy them from me. It's one of those things that it's like, let's do that because that's later in the month. So being able to plan that, I mean, Daw is not giant, but it is bigger than Ginger Blue by a lot. And so being able to plan that and really have that set up is great. And then knowing that I can get Aliens Like Them done and out in the same year. It's been a long time. It's been almost a decade since I've been able to do 2 books in the series in a year. I was on a 2-book-a-year contract with Daw. Way back then, I could keep up with it, but I can't keep up with it anymore. And some of it is because I have a lot of other series going, most of them with Ginger Blue. But also it's just the pressure and the time and everything else. And the older you get, the slower you go. So it's one of those things that I'm just really glad that I got this book done and then had this whole year to get it and the other one divided up and everything else and moving along and yada, yada, yada. So I did not get, now this is great. Great news on the Alien series. Absolute freaking fail on everything else. I am a year late on the second book in the Falls Girl series. BB and I are so off the rails on the Santa Paloma mysteries that we're just like, la, 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 we know what we're doing and we'll get there, right? And I am late on the next installment in The Legend of Belladonna. I am late on things that I was supposed to get the first book ready. So because it wasn't just Ginger Blue consumed with all this, I had to do a lot. Not everything. I mean, they did more work than I did, but I still had to do stuff. There was a lot of discussion. There was a lot of, going back and forth on what are we doing with covers and all this other stuff. So the Alien series in 2025 sailed along really great. Everything else I'm doing just as epic fail the right word? I don't know, but it's really, that phrase really close. So I feel bad because originally I expected to get all this stuff out because I didn't have to help get 16 existing books out. And all of a sudden that changed. On the other hand, it was always great to be with Daw. It's really nice to be with somebody where I can say, I don't want to do that. And we can discuss it very easily, or this is when I want this to come out. Can we do that? And you go, sure, whatever you want. Right. We're building around you, girl. So whatever you want to do. So, which is a nice place to be. And so I'm just grateful all of that stuff was in place, but I'm so thankful this book is coming out in April. My fans have been so patient and for the most part supportive. There's always somebody, how dare you go out to eat? You should be writing. And it's like, yeah, I guess I don't get to have a life because I'm your entertainment slave. Oh, wait, that's not actually what it is. So, but for the most part, they've been really great and really supportive. And I just want to give them the gift of this book and Aliens Like Them and have it be worth their weight. I think it's worth the wait. And I hope they do too.
So Layla, since there's what, 52, we got 51 weeks left this year, so you're going to crank out what, 113 books?
You know she is. You know she is.
No, no. I can say with all certainty the things that I know my readers will get this year. They will get Ruby oh my God, Ruby Flames, which is the third book of the Daenerys Brothers Dragon Shifter series that TL Travis and I have been working on. They will get Daddy's Precious Pets because that is actually scheduled to come out at the end of next month. They will get Rebels Warrior, which is the follow-up book to Echoes of a Muted Song, which I put out last year. That series I'm looking at, it is hitting nicely in May. I want to keep that where they will get a book every May of that rocker series until I'm done with it. TL and I have also already done our covers for our Road to Rocktoberfest book this October. We just did our cover for our Pride Road Trip series, which will come out in June. So those are the absolutes. And then I owe my readers a few solo books. So they will absolutely be getting the follow-up book to A Little Campfire Blues from last year. But those are nice, short, about 55,000 word books. Because that series is actually broken up into 4 books that I had in mind for it. I wanted to do one for every season. So they will get one book this year from that series. It will be the fall that followed the summer. So since that book took place at a summer camp, they will then get a fall book. It still will have camping in it, but it will be them and their daddy and just a lot of fun. My two littles and their pet and a lot of fun. So that book will absolutely be out. And then the only other book that I will go on the line and promise my readers this year is that they will get, actually, I have to promise 2 of them. They will get Danger's book from my Rolling Joker series because it's written. It is done. It is in a notebook. All I have to do is sit and type it. I wrote it on a road trip last year without even meaning to. I just did not have time to sit down with it. And they will get book 7 of the Comet Lake Chronicles, because that one was actually one I hoped to get to last year and slid a completely surprise project that I can't even reveal yet. It is written, it is turned into the publisher. I don't have the okay to reveal it. It will be coming out, I want to say like April or May, but I'm not allowed to talk about it yet. So it is done. It is turned in. Those are the things that will absolutely be coming, and anything else will be a
That's
surprise.
9.
That is
9.
that is actually 4 short from last year. So I cut down. I will
You're at
take that.
9. You're at 9.
So that means you
I will
got
take
4 more
that.
to slot in. You got
No,
plenty.
Right?
no, we are not. We are sitting. I say this now, but I do when
But
I
we
sit
know you.
down,
But we
um,
know you.
I've
when I
said
sit
plenty of
down to
things.
write, I this is all I do. My kids are grown. I have no life. I live in Iowa. It's winter. There's
Oh,
absolutely nothing to do. There's snow on the ground. I'm not leaving the house. The start of the year, the first 3 days of the year, I was out and about. I had to leave the house every day for groceries and errands. And yet, Rebel, I've written a total of 20,000 words in 6 days already. So that's where we are with it. Um, I shoot for 2 chapters a day. That's on top of daily promotion and anything else. So this is all I do. I sit and I just engage with my characters all day long like a maniac. And there might be a surprise book this year. I do have one people are asking for, but I absolutely refuse to promise it until it's written.
So Amy, how about you for 2026?
not as prolific. Uh, by I have at least 2 other dragon stories that I am planning on illustrating. Uh, Dragon Snowy Day, which was the one I thought I was doing first before Dragon Sonica jumped in front of it. Um, uh, Dragon's Hunt for Millie, little chameleon, which should be fun because there'll be lots of plants in that one. Um, I am already working on a sequel to the unpublished novel that I am presently shopping around. And I have a short story which should finally be coming out in an anthology this year. I can't give you any more details. It's been long time in the works to get this out in the public eye. Um, but I'm still waiting for some key information on that one. So I can't announce it, but I am hopeful that this will be the year it will be coming out.
Yeah, I have a piece in an anthology. I've been waiting for a couple of years for that one to come.
Mhm.
We'll see when it happens. All
I
right.
wonder if it's the same one.
Yeah.
So, one last bonus question, just because I'm here to amuse myself. Um, Word of the year. What is the word for 2026? Who wants that?
God.
I can't say my word on air. You
Right.
didn't spin the wheel. You
Look,
didn't spin the wheel.
right, we didn't make him spin the wheel. I named this decade the sucking 20s, and until they prove otherwise, that's my expectation. I would love for it to be the fabulous 2026, but I hold no hope for this decade. Every year, I feel like the following year says, "Hey, baby, hold my beer. Let me see how
Right?
bad I can screw these people up now." So, yeah, my word is still sucking until this year gets to prove to me whether it wants to improve on its brethren for this decade or not, and I know where I'm putting my money. So
Well, I'm
Um,
going to use Jenny's word, but put an F in front of it,
yeah,
and
exactly, yeah, right.
that's how I feel about it so far. I can definitely see it being a year of hibernation, a lot of words, not traveling as much this coming year because fear of getting back in the country actually made me
yeah.
cancel an event that I really wanted to attend, but so yeah, we're gonna go with sucking with an F.
Um, yeah, I guess it's my turn. So, yeah, I agree with both of you on that. At least 25 is over, sort of. Uh, but I am going to do something a little more hopeful. Now, I know last year technically was the year of the dragon, but for 2026, it is going to be my year of the dragon since I have a dragon novel or a novel with dragons in it. I have these dragon stories, short stories that I'm doing, and that other novel that I'm going to start working on. Hey, it has dragons in it. So yeah, I'm going to say I'm hoping it to be the year of a dragon being published. We can hope.
May the dragon get its wings.
Yeah, I like that.
All right. Well, since I did not spin the wheel, and well, you know. So, but before we get out of here, let's make sure everybody knows where to find you guys, and of course, remind them what book they need to be picking up. So, Layla, you're up first.
All right. Well, you can find me on Facebook. I am getting more active on Blue Sky and Instagram. I am working on TikTok. The book you are looking for is Daddy's Precious Pets. It is available for pre-order. It is part of the Lacton Brotherhood. You can also find Rebels Warriors available for pre-order, as well as Ruby Flames. Those are the pre-orders live at the moment. We will have another coming soon.
Amy?
Well, as I said, A.L. Kaplan is my the name I publish under. I can be found on social media, A.L. Kaplan Author. My website is A.L. Kaplan Author. So I am active on Facebook, they put the author in front of the A.L. Kaplan on Facebook. But I'm also on Instagram and Blue Sky. I'm not on TikTok. And the book you should be looking for is Dragon's Hanukkah. Perfect for age 3 and up. And or older kids can read to younger kids, and I've gotten some excellent reviews on it, including one who's the parent said that not the parent, the grandmother who bought it and read it to her child wanted it read again 9 times, and her mom's a rabbi, so she has tons of Hanukkah books in the house. So, yay! But check it out. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, I know Hanukkah's past, but there's next year.
This year.
This year. There is, right, it's this year. There is this year. And look for more.
Get a bunch now early so that your
yes,
Christmas
so you're ready.
Your holiday shopping and your
Shopping.
Hanukkah shopping.
Get it done.
Get it done. Yeah, get it done. Get it done early.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jenny?
You can find me at ginikoch.com. If you want to join my free newsletter, Hook Me Up, you can do so from the bottom of most of the pages of that website. I am all over Facebook. I'm on X, Twitter, Blue Sky, and Pinterest. The most recent release is the re-release of Camp Alien, which is out. But please go pre-order Aliens Like Us. It's easiest if you do it from the Ginger Blue Publishing website. Look at Coming Soon. Click on the cover and then choose your distributor of choice and your version of choice. They'll be available in ebook, trade paperback, hardback, and trophy hardback. And those aren't all from the same place. So good luck to you. Just if you're an Amazon buyer, the pre-orders at Amazon are only ebook. You can buy trade paperback and hardback when the book is live. You can pre-order everywhere else for all the other things. Amazon's just a little titchy. So, but please go. Please pre-order this book.
And you can find me at jamespnettles.com, authoressentialsworkshops.com, creatingpros.com, and of course, your ConTinual. And we will see you again soon. Go stack up those to be ready.